So we've got 48 listening. That might be as much as we're going to get. We've announced in the chats that we were doing this. So I want to start off with an announcement. So I've been thinking about it since this morning, my time. So about the last 10 hours, I've been thinking about this. I know a lot of the community here came from some other places, and those other places, namely Ring. I'm just going to say the name because it's not a nod or a knock to them to say their name, but a lot of you guys came from Ring. You knew me over there. I was an active member in the Discord chat for about 3.5 weeks. I shared my opinions and my visions and goals and opinions about that team and the project. As a community member, as an investor, I was approached after a couple of AMAs that went really well. I think at least for getting good questions out to the dev and the project manager up there. I was asked to become a moderator. All right, so I want to clarify for everyone here in the room what a moderator is and what it is not. So a moderator in a Discord chat is someone who is sort of a liaison between the community and the project team. They are not affiliated with the team beyond that capacity in most cases. All right, so when I was asked to become a moderator at the Ring Discord server, I did that because I wanted two things. One, Luke and I were already working on this project. This project has been in development for about 6 weeks. So we had already started working on this before I became a moderator. I had a conversation with Luke and said, look, I've got an opportunity to become a moderator. I would like to get closer to the Ring team and see if I can gain any insights on what's going on over there because they're not very generous with information in the first place. So it was a little reconnaissance and market research from me. And that directly affected the ability to build this community here and deliver the vision that I wanted and Luke wanted to deliver for what our project was going to be. I also wanted to see whether or not the team was being more transparent with the mods than they were with the community. And the truth of the matter is they weren't. So that we didn't have any more access to the team than an average user did in most cases. We were sent out as cannon fodder to take all of the bad answers and questions from the community. So there was some confusion about that yesterday or this morning, whatever time frame you're in. There was some discussions about my involvement with Ring. I was not part of the team. I was not part of the project team. I was not part of the development team. I was not involved in any way, shape, or form or any capacity with Ring except two ways. As an investor, I was an early investor. And a second way, I became a moderator and was a moderator for about 4 days. And then when we launched this project, I resigned and quit as a moderator out of respect because it's not appropriate for me to be a moderator for that project and try to run my own project at the same time. So it was a clear conflict of interest, right? So I wanted to be clear to everyone here who came from that space to this space. This is not a continuation or an extension of anybody from the Ring team. And I just want to make that clear for everyone to understand up front. Some of you in here have been dealing with me for several weeks, and you know I'm not a member of the Ring team, but I wanted to clarify for everyone here. I'm not affiliated with those guys whatsoever in any way, shape, form, or capacity. So that's my announcement. I just want to get it out there so everyone understands the delineation and separations and clear differences here. This is a completely separate development team, project team, management team, founding team with a very different approach to how to solve the problem that was introduced. So that's my announcement. And I think, Luke, we want to move into the next one. I'll let you talk.
Yeah, man.
My mouth is dry now. Appreciate it.
No worries, man. No worries. And thank you for clarifying that. And I also think it's really important for us to communicate to the company. Eric and I will be doxing ourselves in due course. We will be. We've already doxed ourselves to early people who've come on in this journey with us. And, we will be working out our marketing plan over the coming days of what we need to do. However, so I have something that I need to speak through with the community. First and foremost, we launched over 24 hours ago, and it has been the most wonderful launch, guys. Thank you so much for what is becoming something really beautiful and amazing. In just over 24 hours, we have a liquidity pool of $880,000. We have over the last count, we have 2,352 nests built. It's absolutely amazing. And thank you guys so much. Now, as we announced in our first AMA, which we've actually got a copy of, thank you, Showtime, we'll be circulating that for everyone. As we circulated in the first AMA, we launched as a stealth launch. Okay, we've kept this very quiet, and everyone who's in here has been invited by word of mouth, or because we respect you, or because someone in here respects you. And we've, the reason we did that was because we've watched every other protocol launch. We've watched them make mistakes, so we didn't want to go public and have a problem with the smart contract or anything like that. We wanted to give ourselves a time period, a buffer period where we could look into the smart contract and make any changes to it. Now, we are expecting our CERTIC audit back on the 31st of December. Written into our roadmap from day one was we were anticipating we'll need to make some changes to the smart contract when CERTIC finalise their audit. So written into the roadmap is for us to launch a V2 chain before we go live to the public. We'll be going live to the public on the 1st of the 1st, 2022, but we're going to launch the V2 just before. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a straight liquidity swap. We're going to screenshot, we're going to snapshot that blockchain. We're going to snapshot all the nests, all the tokens, all the transactions. We're then going to stop that blockchain from running. We'll eject the liquidity pool. We will then deploy the new smart contract and inject that liquidity pool into it. We're going to go one for one. We're not going to mess around with the liquidity pool. Now that leads me nicely into my second point, which we've been very honest. There may be blips in the road, and we've hit one. When we issued our smart contract, unfortunately, we weren't able to know whether this was going to happen before we launched it. However, I'm pleased to tell you that we found an issue within 5 minutes, and we've been working on it ever since. We've resolved the issue, but let me tell you what the issue is. There's currently an issue with the interaction on claiming from claiming the nests, so drawing down the tokens. What happened is we became too clever. We overthought into the smart contract, and we wanted to ensure that in order to interact and claim your tokens, we didn't want to put a 10% tax on the token like all the other guys did, because that's unwarranted. However, we also wanted to incentivize drawing down as little as possible. So we put a small $5 pegged charge on each claim, just to stop everyone doing it 10 times a day. Now, we did it dollar pegged because, I'm very bullish on Avalanche over the coming 12 months. So we didn't want people to be priced out of claiming their Avalanche. Now, for those of you who have nests with us and have set up nests, well done. It's been a long process from launch to do that. And you'll have seen that when you set up a nest, it was 0.17 AVAX. And there was a variable underneath that took that to 0.28%. And what that is the variable that we've put in to ensure that stays pegged at dollar price. But what that also means is that when you're setting up nests, you've had to interact with that contract twice, because you're having to confirm the second interaction of the variable for that dollar peg. And that's our fault. We were too clever on that, and we apologise deeply. Now, it puts us in an interesting situation, because at the moment, there are some people who can claim. Eric has managed to claim some tokens. I can't. And from the tickets that we've received from the chat, it's not just isolated to me. Luckily, I found it and others have picked it up. I know that there are some that can claim and there are some that can't. I know you're probably going to want to go and claim and test it, and feel free if you want to, but please try not to. We don't want to put protocol under any further stress at this point in time. So there are some that can and some that can't. Now, we can't change a smart contract once it's deployed. You can't. It's like a ball rolling down a hill. We can only guide it to keep it on the path. We can't stop that ball. The only way to change that ball is to stop it in its path. So we've fixed the smart contract, and we're now in a situation where we can deploy this fix on a V2 now, and then we can deploy a V3 on the 31st where Certic come back to us. Now, the other option is we wait until the 31st. Now, we're going to offer this to you guys to make the decision, but first let me present the evidence from both sides. If we redeploy the smart contract now, that means we have to snapshot, pause, pull liquidity, redeploy that snapshot twice in a period of 3 days. Deploying a smart contract is a very, very hard job. And, it's something that, if you want me to do, I'll do it twice, but I'd rather just do it once. Because it's less room for error. Now, also, there is the opportunity for us to wait and then on the 31st redeploy that smart contract with our Certic audit stamp of approval, and that'd be that final smart contract that we run forward, and that will be secure and tight and beautiful. And that's the lady that we're going to be running forward with, to build this protocol. And V2 was always in our roadmap, because obviously Certic audit is very important to us. Now, if you guys choose for us to redeploy that smart contract on today, well, it'll probably be tomorrow morning, 29th, we will do that. Alternatively, if you guys can please let us work towards our roadmap and our plan and redeploy on the 31st, it offers us a couple of benefits as a community and as an investment, and they are this. On the 1st of the 1st, 2022, our marketing plan starts. We're hitting hard, right? We are lining up. We've got some big faces in here. You've seen them. We are lining up interviews with these, and we are going to be telling everyone. That's just what we're doing. Then we've got what you guys are doing as well. And thank you so much for keeping this quiet so far. But on the 1st of 1st, 2022, we can tell the world, and the world is going to come flying in. Look at our chart. It's a thing of beauty, right? That is going to create so much buying pressure that all of us who got in early will be able to sell. And that will offer us a couple of things. Number one, it will mean that our selling pressure isn't first at the post. It won't be a race to cash out your tokens. We'll be able to sell gradually over the market and maintain a solid token price. But also the increased sell pressure on launch will ensure that we keep a low barrier to entry for new people who enter into our protocol. Because the last thing we want to do, and the reason we did stealth is we kept it quiet. We do not want to grow too quickly, because if we grow too quickly, it becomes unstable. So we need to maintain this level of growth. And if we wait for the 31st to redeploy that smart contract, then that gives us that time for that slower growth. Now, in order for you guys trusting us for doing that, what we will also do is we will inject more liquidity into this protocol now. I will share with you the liquidity pool. You will be able to watch me put that into the protocol live, and then we will put more in as we can when we launch on the 1st of the 1st, 2022. So that's your decision. We're going to open it up to the room for questions, because we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I know that there's going to be a lot of questions. We're ready to field them, and we just want to be open and honest with you all. Alongside that, there is a bit of good news. We anticipate that on the 1st of the 1st, 2022, we will be able to launch with a $50,000 treasury investment as well. So there's a little bit of good news. We're already building the treasury, but I'll pass it over. I know Showtime, you've popped in. Thanks for joining, man. Is any questions or anything?
Some quick questions that maybe some people are already wondering. So let's just kind of get some details before people want to make their decision. So let's just say they decide to do a single V2 migration rather than doing literally 2 migrations within 3 days. From the way I look at it, the only benefit of doing 2 migrations within like 3-day period is just so that people can sell between, it would probably be tomorrow if it worked and the 31st. So you're really only going to allow for 2 days of actual selling to take place, and in which we were going to stagger out sales anyway. So I think when we're looking at just a single migration, let's just say, Certic comes back and they're like, yeah, you need to make some changes. So you do a single migration with their changes plus the issue that's affecting the claims right now. And you just do that kind of all at one time. So the current nests will be migrated over. The rewards, I assume, will be snapshotted. And are those going to be airdropped as fire tokens, or are the actual rewards going to actually be migrated to the new nest as well? Like, what can you talk about how the rewards will be moved over?
Yeah, of course. So with regards to the rewards, with regards to the snapshot, now the algorithm is very, very simple. We can work out from start to now a token accrual if it's not captured by the snapshot. If it's not captured by the snapshot, we'll work it out manually, and we'll airdrop those tokens to everyone. No one is going to miss out on this, and we're very, very keen. It's a blip. We noticed it, and yeah, we're keen to make sure we do this properly. Yeah.
I'll let other people talk. I just want to say one more thing. It was after I think you left the AMA yesterday, Eric, Luke. When you left, Eric was here. One of the things I said was that I have not talked about any of the DeFi as a service protocols. I've just been kind of silently watching from the background at kind of watching this space sort of implode on itself, so to speak. And that's mostly because I didn't really know at first what was going on. There's certain things that I just thought were going to fall on themselves just because they were completely unsustainable. A lot of scammers. The reason why I liked working with you guys was a few reasons. And, by the way, anybody that's here as like a moderator or even myself, because I'm on the multi-sig, I've invested. I've been paid zero. One of the reasons I wanted to be kind of an advisor was because I thought it was a great opportunity to kind of fix this space and kind of, to kind of grab hold of the captain of the ship, so to speak, and shake him up a little bit and say, hey, you need to change direction. And that was kind of the reason I hopped on. And one of the things I had said yesterday, Luke, after you left, was that one of the things I noticed really quickly, because I've been burned by a lot of people just personally, and one of the things that I'm kind of looking at is how open people are, because there's people that we know that have been sort of like, if you tell them anything, they've already done it 100 times better than you, kind of thing, and that you really can't tell them anything. One of the things I really loved about you and Eric was that you guys are, I feel like you guys are really smart, but you're very open, and you don't act like you have it all figured out. You don't act like you know it all, and you're very open to suggestions and how things can be improved, and a lot of collaboration. And that was just one of the things I liked, is just the honesty and the integrity and the transparency. I'll let people hop in. I just wanted to throw that out there because I said that like really, really late in the AMA yesterday. I think most people had left.
Thank you. And you know what? I really, really appreciate your support. And just to clarify to the room, the Treasury is triple sig locked. Showtime is the community representative for that triple lock signature. And as we grow and develop the Discord, we'll be creating a Treasury room that will have a designated community leader. Currently, that sits with Showtime, and then the DAO will choose the voice that they go for. Thank you so much for that, Showtime. And I'd like to invite questions from the floor. I see Brunotti has been there from the start. So Brunotti, come up. Nice to hear. Thanks.
Hey, I want to throw in one more comment about Showtime. He mentioned that he likes working with us. I wanted to paint the picture so you guys had the full understanding. I said early on that this project has been under development for about 5 to 6 weeks. That's when we started conversations. Luke and I sought advisors early on, and Showtime is one of those guys who we have been collaborating with and advising us as a large member of the crypto community at large about what to do, what not to do, and he's been very good about giving us recommendations that we've found a lot of value in. So it's not like he just showed up a day or two ago. He's been there almost since the beginning with us in an advisory role. So just want to clarify that. Yeah.
There's a new sheriff in town, guys. It's the Wild Wild West, and there's a new sheriff in town, and we want to be that sheriff. We want to set the standard. We want to say, listen, guys, here's the rules. Here's the rules. Openness and transparency all along, and you will continue to get that. Brunotti dropped out. His hands up. Has he come back? Okay. Let's try. Brunotti
So are you pulling? Are you actually inviting them to the stage? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey, Brunotti, how you doing?
Hey. I love the project. I joined yesterday. I bought a node. I'm already super bullish.
Welcome.
So yeah,
Welcome.
definitely love this.
Thanks,
love that devs are very transparent. But I've been looking at the website, and I was wondering, like, are you guys planning on doing any visual updates on the website? And like, is there possible to get treasury on the website also, so every member can see like how much money we have in the treasury, and then you have like this chart, and then we can see like how much money is invested into each protocol and stuff like that. Are there any plans to make that?
Short, yes. Long, questions for Eric.
Yeah, so there's definitely a version 2 of the website that kind of falls. So we have separated duties just because no one person can do it all. So the website actually falls under my set of responsibilities. There's definitely going to be a V2, a version 2 of the website with a improved user interface. I said yesterday, and I'll repeat it here today, there absolutely has to be what you described. There has to be visibility into the treasury, into the investments. We are working on a mechanism to show it on the website, maybe after you connect your wallet, so that we can verify you are an invested member, right? We can do a lookup and say, does wallet address have at least one nest to verify you're an investor? We may have a simplified version available for people who don't connect their wallet, but the idea is connect wallet, get details associated with the treasury wallet and what those investments are. So it's a roadmap feature that we're working on towards. But yes, to answer your question, it's definitely in consideration. There's going to be a V2. There's going to be a treasury disclosure on the website for you to see how your money, and this is your money, guys, the community's money, is being invested, right? This is not our money. Luke and I are just the custodians of the project, the way we see it. So this is all about you guys and your money and the community's investments, and that's the reason you're here. That's what DeFi as a service is, or at least it's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Also, I was looking at the tokenomics, because right now it's like almost the same as Ring, where like 7 is going into the rewards pool, 1 is to liquidity, 2 is going to investment pool, correct? I also sent you like a Discord message, because the biggest problem with these projects to now is that the investment pool is way too small. So it's impossible to pay out like all the rewards. So if there was a possibility in the tokenomics to make more of the node costs go into the investment pool, like that would be really great if you guys found a way. So because we need to grow the investment pool, at the treasury, that's like the most important thing here. So we actually get enough money so we can buy back and sustain the project, because from when we have 1,000 nodes bought and then only 2 go to the treasury, I calculated that out of 2 million or something, only like 400,000 goes to the treasury. So I don't know.
Yeah. So we actually go ahead, Luke. Sorry, I'll let you take this one.
Can I field this one, because I
go ahead.
I like this one, and it's a really, really good question, Bernardi. Thank you, man. So, if you have a look at the other protocols within the industry that we're kind of up against, they have that similar tokenomic. They do the 7, the 1, and the 2 split. However, the 2 split goes in, they don't call that a treasury. They call that a marketing and team wallet, and that actually goes in their pocket. So that isn't their treasury. What they do is they use the rewards pool, the 7, as the treasury. So they go into your rewards pool and they take your rewards and they go and spend that on not even investing it properly. The reason we found this out was we tried to claim from some of these, and we wasn't claiming. We checked the rewards pool. The rewards pool was empty. No one was claiming because they couldn't, because they were using our rewards pool as their treasury. So what we've done is we've actually locked our rewards pool. Eric and I don't have access to it. No one has access to it. The only people that has access, in fact, the only thing that has access to it is the smart contract that distributes your rewards. What we also did was we removed the team marketing wallet. That 20%, we didn't need that. That's why we've put a maintenance fee on the nodes, because that pays for the running of the protocol and the investment management company behind it. So through the maintenance fees, you guys are paying for a professional investment company to be built. We're going to be hiring top economists and hedge fund managers to come in and manage this treasury. Now, this protocol is going to go through periods of growth and change as it develops, and the treasury is going to be there to grow. It's not going to be there to dip in if we feel like, you know, we just need a party. Treasury is there to grow and sustain the protocol, and any hedge fund manager worth his salt will be able to take that 20%, turn that into something very special. We have really very well respected chief financial officer who's working with us, who's an absolute genius with numbers and investments, and our off-chain investment is just as important as our on-chain. And then remember, we have an incubator for new projects, and as part of the marketing for the first month, we will be releasing at least 2 projects within the first month that we will be supporting, so that you guys can see the longevity of the project. Brinotti, we've really gone into this and tore it apart from the ground up. We wanted to make sure that it was sustainable and the protocol operates as a protocol, not Eric and I. It's a lovely model, and thank you for questioning the tokenomics, because we worked hard and long on that to make sure that it was as sustainable and protected for the community as possible. Definitely.
Can I piggyback on that just a little bit? I want to say that I mentioned this in the chat yesterday on just a regular chat. The reward rate that we came up with, that was not an arbitrary or random number that we assigned. We actually ran financial models with our CFO, and we determined what the actual sustainable rate is, rather than try to attract people in with an unsustainable reward rate that has to eventually be reduced, or the project will die. We went ahead and started with, and you may notice this in our financial reward system, that it's lower, right? It's a little bit higher than what you would get out of Strong Block, but it's lower than what you'd get out of the other DeFi as a service competitors in the space right now. Because we've started out with the sustainable model, we don't anticipate ever having to reduce that reward rate. So that's part of it. So it's already more sustainable than the other ones. The other ones in the market space had other issues besides the sustainability, as was mentioned by Luke earlier. We don't, as the founders, take anything from the treasury. It's just for investment. Some of those other community DeFi projects are actually taking from what's supposed to be investment capital to pay for their own research and development, operating expenses, salaries, bonuses that they pay themselves, that kind of stuff. We're not doing that. It's completely separated and segregated, isolated and dedicated for just investments. And if I may expand on the investments just a little bit so everyone here understands, we're not going after, of course we will go after some, but we are not going to go after, as a total representation of the portfolio, just other stuff that you guys can invest in as individuals. The idea is to get the capital built up and go after investment opportunities that most individual investors wouldn't be able to access, such as large-scale liquidity pools or yield farming, and into some other off-chain. When we say, and by the way, let me define what on-chain and off-chain is, because you'll hear Luke and I throw that around a little bit. On-chain investments are crypto investments. Off-chain investments are real-world assets and investment instruments that we're going to go after in what we call the real world, right? So this is what makes us a little bit different than the other guys that just go shill and dump into, or look for a trendy, quote unquote, project to ape into. we're going to take a different approach to it. So yes, we're going to buy some DAOs. We're going to buy into some stuff that you would also be able to, as individuals, invest in. We're also going to go after stuff that you wouldn't be able to go after, as most individual investors wouldn't have the capital to do that. That's part of what makes this unique in its delivery mechanism, because we're not trying to do what you could do, but at a larger scale. We're trying to do some things that you can't do. One of the things that Luke and I talked about yesterday in the AMAs is having an incubator project incubator, so we can go have a space where people can come, kind of like Shark Tank, and pitch us ideas for venture capital startup, and we get a percentage of ownership as the community, not the corporation or the foundation that we set up. The community will get a profit share on those projects when they're funded and when they start realizing profits. And Luke and I will have to have full doxing from those teams. We're not giving money to anybody that won't dox to us. So there's a lot of criteria that goes into it. Anyway, the long story short, we put a lot of thought into the tokenomics, the reward system, the sustainability, and the investments that we're going to go after are going to be way different than what you're seeing from the competitors in this space.
Yeah, awesome. That sounds really great, guys. Like, really bullish right now. But also, I was wondering, like, because right now we need to have 7 of the tokens going to the reward pool to like bootstrap the reward pool, so like people can get reward straight away. But if we guys see that the reward pool starts getting really, really big, is it possible to take some of the money from the reward pool and put it into the investment pool so we can get more investments, or is it like
we're
locked
not
there?
going to do that at all. Your reward is your reward. That's yours. We our tokenomic and our growth is, I mean, I've been in investments for a long time, and we've looked at the figures here, and we've got a really sustainable bullish model. We don't need to look into dipping into your pocket to sustain our model. We're not operating out of greed. We're not FOMOing in. What we're doing is we're operating this as professional investors. Our aim is to become accredited. We've enlisted the help of a tier 1 legal firm, a global legal firm, who we're talking about putting on retainer to help us set up the world's first on-chain, off-chain, crypto-based community asset investment company. It's the most wonderful idea and really hard to elaborate, because the first thing we've got to do is get our smart contract operating properly. But yeah, no, the key is we can't grow too fast. We can't grow too slow. We have a sustained system for growth. And we're not going to put into your pocket. We're not going to rob Peter to pay Paul. We're not going to do that.
Yeah. I was thinking about not my reward pool, but like the reward pool of the protocol. So like, let's say suddenly like the reward pool is like $10 million, and you guys need to pay out like 200,000-300,000 every day, and then we see like, okay, so we can pay out for maybe 1 week or 2 weeks. So maybe if we put like 1 million or 2 million into some other projects to get the investment fund up, I was kind of thinking like that.
For sustainability, we're shooting for a 31-day runway on rewards, so that we don't end up in a situation where the market dips or we have some other unforeseen activity in the market. Because you guys can see it if you look at the charts on most crypto in the last month. A lot of it's been down, right? So we need a 31-day is what we've shot for runway on rewards. So that's the reason why we don't want to dip into the rewards, because if we do too much, if we come out of there and we dip into the rewards too much, then we'll actually end up hurting ourselves in the process. So Luke, I just got a message from one of our listeners that your volume appears to be rather low compared to others that are speaking. I don't know if you can adjust your microphone or change your input device. I can hear you just fine. I don't know if it's maybe just that one user. But someone DM'd me and said that he can't hear you as well.
Better? How about that? Is that better?
It doesn't sound any different to me personally, but if that person who just DM'd me can respond in a DM once again, I will let you know.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. So thank you, Brunotti. We have more people waiting for questions.
Yeah, awesome. I'm done. That was everything. Like, thank you.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks for
problem.
coming for the journey, and we're happy to have you here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy to invest into real projects. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And thank you for saying that. That's the basis, the foundation of the idea here is this is a real project. This isn't a fly-by-night operation. We're not trying to pull some kind of a quick pump and dump or something like that. The whole thing's built on sustainability and transparency. It has to be. Otherwise, it's just pointless to even go through the effort. Because I'll be honest with you guys, and trust. Yeah, the effort to get one of these things started is not easy. It was a lot of effort, a lot of lost sleep, and a lot of activity on mine and Luke's part, and our advisors and consultants that we've been working with in the background. This was not something we put together in a weekend and said, hey, let's just launch this real quick and see what happens.
Just to let you guys know, just for the room, like, I'm walking away from my dream job. Like, I literally got the dream job, and then we've done this, and I'm going full time into this. There's nothing else I want to do now other than just make this the best thing that I can. So I'm going full time. Eric's going full time, and we're gonna really push this.
This isn't side hustle. This isn't moonlighting. This is our full-time occupation now. I left a really, really, really nice job. There's some people in here that I know. Crap. Hold on. Let me see if he's here. Hey, you guys that know me, because there's a few of my friends in here that I actually work with. Don't say anything I haven't put in my notice yet. I just thought about that. Yeah. So this is going to be my full-time gig. Please keep it to yourself. Those who know me personally. I will make that announcement to my current employer in due time, but this is my full-time employment now. So, and I'm walking away from a very, very, very lucrative job to do this. So Luke and I are all in on this. This is not a side hustle, fly-by-night, or moonlighting operation. We're going to try and do it and see what happens. We're all in.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Awesome. Yeah, thank you for answering my questions.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming up. We got S. Munro, man. How you doing? Let me get you up. Lovely. Are you coming? Hey, thanks. Good to see you.
Hey, guys.
Man.
Hey, I've got 4 or 5 quick ones. NFTs, when will they be working, and will we be buying them with Fire or USDT, AVAX? How will that work?
Go on, Eric.
I'll be honest with you. So I know part of the questions. We've had a lot of activity about this. I don't have the figure in front of me to tell you what the price is going to be. We have selected a price. It is a fixed price. It's to be paid in AVAX.
Yeah. So we
I don't. If you remember the price, Luke, that would be great. But I don't remember off the top of my head what the prices are that we selected. They're going to be available on January 1st. We're still working on the minting process of the NFT. The supporting application programming, the logic in the smart contract is already there to support these NFTs and reward boosting, but they haven't been actually minted yet. We're still working on the minting of the NFTs, and they will be available on January 1st. That's the tentative date right now. And Luke, if you can elaborate on the price, I do believe we said, was it AVAX only? We didn't want to do an AVAX and Fire, as I recall in the conversations we had.
So we were toying with the tokenomics of it and how to divvy it up, and I think what we settled on was AVAX, wasn't it? And I think it was, from the top of my head, and please don't quote me on this. Don't quote me on this.
Then don't say it.
No, actually, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
If you don't, as the founder, if you don't want to get quoted, don't say it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
That's fine. I was just thinking ballpark, like $1,000 or 30,000. Like, Strong has their NFTs. Everybody knows they have NFTs. They were pretty expensive. I'm just curious.
Let me tell you, the first conversation we had, Luke, I'm sorry to talk over you here. The first conversation Luke and I had was about the strong block NFTs, because that's the model that everyone else is sort of mimicking in the NFT reward boosting. They were the first ones to do it. I was an early adopter at Strong. I found the price to be prohibitive and ridiculous. And so the goal was to not price the NFTs as if they're fine art, and price them for what they actually are, which is a reward boost function, right? We have some pretty artwork. You guys can see it on the website. It's not 3D animated. We didn't sink a bunch of money into that. The guy the artist that did that work for us, he put a lot of care and thought into that and effort. But it wasn't like we went and sank a bunch of money into these really elaborate, artistic, pretty things, because the function of them is not to be serving as a store of value like other NFTs and fine art. I hesitate to call some of them fine art, but still, the concept is different, right? If there's a utility, there's an output function to it, and that's what people really are buying, not the pretty artwork. So there was pretty artwork in there to make it good to look at, but ultimately what you guys are interested in is the reward boost. So we priced it accordingly. It will not be nearly as expensive as what you saw at Strong. I don't have the figure in front of me. I know we landed on a price. I just got to pull it up in our documents and see if we have that written down somewhere.
Yeah, no problem. Second thing is, I noticed when we're going to approve our nests, I think you guys already mentioned it. Is there any way to up our approval to like maybe 1,000 nests so that we don't have to pay that? I know it's a whopping 6 cents and it's going to kill my ROI, but yeah, we're always having to pay that 6 cents instead of can't up the nest.
It's a frustration.
That's all good though.
Just that smart contract interaction.
Yeah, that's all good.
Thanks.
So if people do vote to wait a few days, is there maybe something we should tell maybe people that don't know, and instead of selling in large chunks, sell in smaller chunks when we do get to sell? Maybe some people don't know that, or
we're toying with the idea. Listen, like, you know, we don't want to be patronizing to anyone or anything like this. You know, we assume that all of you are seasoned investors and everything like that. However, you know, we are thinking about, you know, just a little bit of education about how to sell to support the protocol, because
that's right.
You know, the worst thing that we can see is, you know, 100 dropping in. It's much better for the protocol just to stagger in 10, that's 5 right. over a sustained period of time. So yeah, thank you. It's something we are,
Yeah, guys will have some built up if we wait 3 or 4 days, or, you know, who knows, there might be even a few days after that if something doesn't quite go right, but there'll be a little bit of a build up there in rewards.
Exactly.
We have discussed internally having educational videos developed. I don't know if our guy is with us here, but Jordan Harry is one of our contributors to this project, and he does really, really good instructional videos on YouTube. We've tossed around the idea of having him put together some how-to videos on how to sell without, because people don't, if you came from Ring, you know, I'm a big proponent of not dumping all at once, even though I was one of the largest holders. In Ring, I had more nodes than most people could probably imagine. I didn't sell them all at once because I understand the difference between a retail transaction and a market transaction, and so we need to educate people on what the differences are. If you look at the transaction as a retail transaction, as in you pay this price no matter what, then you're looking at this incorrectly, because this is a market transaction and everything changes with those large sales. So we want to create a video series, maybe a couple of videos on just educational. Hey, if you happen to get to this point, this is how you handle it without damaging the protocol, and put that out in our community here on the Discord for everyone to take advantage of if they want to. I advise everyone to watch the videos. We're going to have several videos coming out on educating investors along with this project.
Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to mention it now everybody was here, because if we do have a buildup over the next 4 or 5 days, we don't want to all be selling on day one in 100 chunks and whatever. But
exactly, we're offering something really exciting to you guys, because what we're actually doing here, we're saying on the 1st of the 1st, 2022, you guys become our market makers. You guys create the sell pressure, and that's a lot of responsibility that we're putting on you guys now, because we're launching our protocol and we're saying, guys, here we go. You know, you've got the opportunity now to protect, this, to sustain the growth. And it's up to you how you respond to it, you know, because we're going to have a lot of buys coming in, and it's up to you how low that token goes, you know, or how high that token is. We can sustain the sales. We can, you know, it's going to be a really, really interesting moment for us all, because, you know, we'll get to treat the protocol with love, and that's what it's about.
Absolutely. A couple real quick ones. So the real world stuff I just heard Eric talking about. So are you guys actually going to be having to cash out crypto into fiat to do real world? What you were saying, you're going to have crypto in real world, off chain, on chain?
Yeah, man. We've got an agreement with a large scale crypto bank. We have an agreement to move up to $20 million a time on chain and off chain.
I just wanted people to know that so everyone's not freaking out in a month saying, hey, someone's selling all this money to another wallet. You know how it goes.
No, and you know what? We're not going to move any money out of that treasury without letting you know.
Yeah,
so if we are
for
going to move
sure.
it off chain, we'll say, hey guys, do you know what I mean? We're moving this money out for XYZ.
Okay, perfect. One more little one. Might be funny to put a 30-second or 1 minute timeout in chat if anyone that says node. I thought that might be kind of funny. Give the
like
killer bot a timeout.
Can we do that? Can we do that?
I hear people still saying node quite a bit. We got to retrain our brains here.
Yeah,
But,
that's an
that's
interesting
it for me.
concept. I don't like it because a lot of us came from the other place where they use that to silence people.
Yeah, I don't.
And we don't want to give that kind of impression out here.
I thought it'd be
remind
funny.
them.
Yeah, it would be funny to say, hey, you use the word no, you're timed out for 30 seconds. But at the same time, it would probably make a lot of people mad because it's an honest Freudian slip. We just created this concept of a nest yesterday. We didn't create it yesterday. We launched it yesterday. So yeah, no one's really picked up on it yet. You see, there was a chat that Luke, I think you found, where one of our competitors now is trying to figure out how to rename from Node to something more appropriate and have it themed. So there might be other people watching us and taking notes.
Isn't that lovely?
For sure. Okay, I'll get off here and let someone else talk. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I think empty debit card's been holding up his hand for a while, so I'd like to get him up next.
I'm keen to hear from King Solomon afterwards as well.
I know, please. Yeah, and then I agree, and then Solomon next, and then we'll follow up that with Dom. Fantastic. So first, I'll bring empty debit card.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah. Empty debit card, there you go. I was going to say you have to accept the invite to get on stage. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you for being here.
No problem. I just want to say first, hey, what's up? I want to say first, I love the level of communication you guys are having. It's amazing. 2 quick questions. One, how exactly are you planning to go about the voting? Like, are you planning to go a snapshot route or a separate website? Just because we all know that certain votes can be sort of rigged if the link is spread.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that. We're looking at options right now. Ideally, I'd like a system. This is just me thinking in my own, like, what if there were no barriers to doing this? My ideal situation would be you log in with a wallet, right? And then it's based on the number of nests that you have so that it's proportionate to your holding in the investment capital. And then that's how we track the votes. I don't know. I'm not a technical person as far as like a developer, so I don't know what the requirements are to get into that. We have a developer that we can talk to and see what that would look like. But that's my like heavenly goal of what that would be. The perfect scenario would be. But no, I don't want to do like a Survey Monkey where you can share the URL out and anybody in the world can vote on it, or do a Twitter vote where you don't have to even be a part of the member of the community to vote on it. That's ridiculous.
For me, it's one of the projects that we're going to be incubating is going to solve this concise issue, and is going to change the way we interact with decentralized apps and blockchain as a whole thing.
That's a good point, Luke. We should actually tell these people. You guys are not aware of this. I don't think we're ready to share details yet, but we already have 2 projects that we're looking to provide that startup capital to, where the team members are known to us and trusted, and then we've already got 2 lined up that are going to be those type of investments right off the bat. I don't know what the time frame is. Luke's more involved with that than I am, but just wanted to put that out there that it's not a what if scenario. We actually have 2 already lined up for consideration.
We also have a nice working relationship with a wealth management platform that we're looking to maybe tap into the back end of their app in some way. So something that we're actively looking at. But for now, we are going to leave it for the Discord for the verified users for now. And then as we move forward, we're going to be looking into more secure ways of doing it.
Awesome. That's really good. I'm glad that you guys have already kind of thought through this, because that's something that I know a lot of people are worried about. The second question is something I'm passing along from Skittles. He said, with the financial models that you ran over with your CFO, did that give you any idea of an ideal token price or a range of it?
Token price is going to be set by the market, supply versus demand. We've got a really nice launch price. As you know, I'd like to keep that sustained and increase liquidity on that as we go to launch on the first. We can put more liquidity into the token. That's something that we're looking at the moment. We need to handle launch over the next 72 hours going public. Carry on, please, Eric.
Furthermore, expanding on that, I'm not a personal fan of manipulating market prices. I think you'll find anytime you try to artificially manipulate a market price, the market usually wins, and it's usually nasty. You'll see that in some of our competitors that did that. They tried to manipulate prices through different types of mechanisms, and I'm not really a fan of that. Luke's not really a fan of that either. Our CFO is not a fan of that. We can point to examples in the past where people have tried to force their stock price or token price to go in a certain way, and 99% of the time it backfires on them because the market it's like trying to divert a raging river, right? If it's moving in one direction, don't try to move it against that direction.
Go with water, man. We watched a open quotations smart contract hack, close quotations. It happened on another blockchain. What that was just realizing that they hadn't put enough tokens in for liquidity, so they just dumped a load of tokens into the market. Realized that they'd made an absolute cock up, and then tried to cover it up and blame some random hacker. It was absolutely terrible. It was an absolutely atrocious show. Then they realized actually we can make a lot of money out of it. So market making is something that we do on the back end. We support the buys and sells of the transaction. With the level of liquidity that we have in there and the pooled fire, if sales come too hard, this token will rise into an unsustainable level. This is at the perfect level right now. And if you look at that